Welcome to another episode of Women Investing in Women. My co-host Robin and I are always delighted to talk to women and feature women celebrating their contributions, celebrating their successes, and how these women are truly impacting their own lives, the lives of those around them, and how they are being lifted up by other women, lifting up other women, and building an ecosystem of truly supporting compassionate community of women. Why do we want to celebrate this in Women Investing in Women? When we help a woman, we lift up a family. When we lift up a family, we lift up a community. You know, the old adage, when you help a man, you help a man. When you help a woman, you help a society. And we want to celebrate our mission is continually seeking and finding women who are creating impact, who are receiving that impact and transforming their lives to build a life of impact. We want to feature that entire chain of events because in there is the true story, the true success, and the true impact of how women are investing in women. And those women in turn are raising families to build a better society. Every living person in this world came into this world from the womb of a mother, right? So women are the beginning of every life. So let's celebrate them, let's honor them, let's lift them up, and let's make this a truly compassionately supporting community where we build a space for us and support each other. Take it away, Robin.
All right. I am so excited and thrilled to have Danielle Hammond as our guest today. And some of you might remember that several weeks ago, we interviewed Betsy Arya of Soup of Success in Elkhart, Indiana. And Soup of Success is a program, a very structured program to help women progress in their lives. And we are so excited because Danielle is one of the graduates of Soup of Success. And we had told Betsy during the interview or before, after the interview, we definitely want to have someone who's been through your program, you know, how it has helped them. And so we're so excited that Danielle is the assistant of production. Let's see, what was the official title that she gave you? The production assistant. So Danielle is the production assistant of Soup of Success. And so, Danielle, tell us, how did you become the production assistant of Soup of Success, and what was your experience like at Soup of Success?
To start off with, the Soup of Success program changed my life. I don't know what I would have done if I wouldn't have done this program because I was at rock bottom. I had a job making a career making $20 an hour as an overhead crane operator and an anodizer. And some family events happened, some emergency family events happened to where I had to take care of my niece and nephew until my sister could come home from incarceration. That job was not accessible and it wasn't maintainable with my niece and nephew. So therefore, with not having that job anymore, how am I going to take care of them, like physically, like income wise? So I came over to the pantry one day and I was like in tears and I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I was literally just over there getting food. And the director, Michael, at the food pantry, he was like, have you ever heard of the Soup of Success program? And I was like, well, I was like, I see it. I see people come and going from over there all the time. I was like, but I don't know what that is. And he was like, something you're going to get involved with. And I was like, okay, and like he had me apply and I came and I did the application. And I'm like, when I did the application, it interested me more because like the things in this this building is just, when you walk in here, it is amazing. Like, it's welcoming. The things you see, you're just like, wow, what's that? And like, how'd that become? And just the things you see when you come in here, like, get your attention, period. And then I came in and I asked them about the program. They interviewed me for the program. I was one of the people that got accepted into the program, thankfully. When you very first get here, there's like 14 women that are having major life problems, and we're shoved in one room together. And it's like, work on your life. Like, and at first it's a lot. You're like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can do this. And with the case manager, counselors, and stuff they have here, they work with you, and it is possible, but you have to put the work in to do it. Like, it was like, I had no, what was to say, self-esteem whatsoever. Like, with my teeth, you know, I had bad teeth when I had my son. All of them had to be removed. Like, and I was made fun of, like, constantly. I had no self-esteem. It was at like maybe an 18 when I came in here, and when I left, it was scored at an 89. Like, this place moves you up in your self-esteem and so many things, like, and you just help the next person next to you, and it's a group of people, and you just help the next person achieve the next thing, and it's so amazing.
I am so inspired by hearing this story, Danielle, because self-esteem is everything, right? Because our self-esteem projects the self-talk, what we think of us, how we hold space for us, the compassion we can have for us, the empathy and grace we have for us. All of those are the foundation for how we are going to live.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit, to the women out there, about the importance of taking that time and becoming self-aware and changing the way you talk to yourself, the ability to have grace for the mistakes we make, because we're all flawed humans, right? It
Right.
doesn't
And
matter if I look like Cleopatra. It doesn't matter. We're all flawed, right?
we're
So
all,
how do
everyone has flaws, like, everyone. And like, when I was here, I had this thing, it was called, my mistake is proof I'm trying. Like, that's what my motto was in class. My mistake is proof that I'm trying. And like, when somebody makes a mistake, we learn from that mistake. Hey, that isn't a problem. We just learn from that, and we're just going to fix it with the next thing we do. And we're going to learn from it, and we're going to go on. And it's amazing. Building each other, like, there's different resources we need when we're in class, like, just, you know, helping each other out. Like, and then when we're in class, like, we do, I'm trying to think, our resume building. Like, when we do resumes, we have to come up with soft skills, hard skills. Like, there's so many skills in talking about yourself, and like, just little things, little bitty things, one little thing, and it can equal many, many things, just talking about yourself in great ways. And in this class, they also showed us that the way that you project your life, like the happiness, like, if you want your life to be happy, live happy. I mean, you live what you are living. Your life is what you make it.
I am really interested in what you're in the changes that you're describing, because there's many people who are given opportunities to change. They're given many hands up, and yet they simply don't do it. They just simply don't change. And so I'm wondering, what is it, what were some of the things in your either past life or the elements of the current program that helped you say, okay, I am going to change. I'm going to seize this opportunity and really make a difference in my own life? What helped you make the change where other people wouldn't?
I'd have to say, going out of my comfort zones and learning my voice. That was like the hardest part of like change, is going out of your comfort zone. Just because it don't feel like it's okay, sometimes you have to go out that comfort zone to make positive change in your life. And sometimes there's different things that you don't want to do, but you have to push yourself sometimes outside that comfort zone.
That is an excellent point you're making, Danielle, because if you are comfortable in the misery, then you don't have a need to change the misery and it becomes a habit and a crutch, right? So you wanted it bad enough, you were hungry enough, and you were tired of where you were. So I'm glad to hear you say that. Now, as you went through the program, you said there are 14 women who are put together. Did all 14 of them manage to graduate, or did some of them uh, not be able to find what they needed to rise above their circumstances? Because there's a lot to be said about that internal grit and fortitude and the hunger to want it.
Actually, out of them 14 women, only 6 of us graduated. There is different steps in this program that you have to complete. Like, one of the main things that you have to do that is outside your comfort zone is your life story. You do your life story and you tell your life story in front of all of your sisters. And the point of that is so that if there's things in your life story that you're holding on to, you can let go of them and then you can release that and you're not holding on to that. So the life story was one of the hardest things I had to do. But after I did my life story, I let go of things that I was grudging and holding on to, and I didn't need to hold on to them anymore. Like that was one of them. And then I'd have to say when we did speed bonding, like you bond with another woman, you tell somebody stuff that you don't tell anyone else. And you tell people in this room things about you that you don't tell anybody in your life. And you also have to trust them women not to tell people outside in the community as well.
In the Super Success program, what are some of the practical skills in addition to what you said? For example, are you actually like learning how to cook, like learning to be a chef and you know, the Soup of Success, are you learning how to cook and do things that might be with a restaurant or something like that? Or what are the practical skills? Like
when we very first come in, like they get an introduction to production and they get to come into the kitchen. We have a full kitchen and it has raw ingredients. It's like literally they're buckets and it starts with rice, potato, like that's the main ingredient, and it goes all the way down and it's literally measured out. Like they measure out 4 ounces of rice and then it goes to the next person, and then it's 1 ounce of carrot and then it goes to the next person, and then it equals to be a bag of soup. We sell I believe it's 7 different soups, 3 desserts, and 3 dips. So they do get to work together on a line. When we very first do introductions to production, we come in the kitchen, we get introduced to everything, like anywhere from weighing portions of vegetables down to labeling bags to shipping it, boxing it. We get to learn everything in that process. We learn how to weigh out everything to make an individual bags of soup, and they learn to seal that, process it, ship it, pack it, and actually send it to a store to even be sold.
That's interesting. So you get an entire supply chain process experience.
Yes.
What other skills are you learning? Now, you're the production assistant. Were those skills that you were taught as part of this program?
I actually earned my position here at Super Success. I went through the program and I graduated in August of last year. And then I bridged for 8 to 10 weeks and I was offered a job on November 10th of last year. And we go through our hard and soft skills, and they actually make this beautiful resume, which I can't see on the screen, but it's like they do your skills and qualifications. They go through your work experience. They get you a resume. They get you a cover letter. They get you references. Like it's an amazing, the job training in this program is amazing as well.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So it sounds like that you're combining what is so important from both worlds, you know, the mental abilities, the spiritual abilities, and plus the practical things of, you know, creating a product and actually being able to sell this product. And what are some of the, you know, being the assistant production supervisor, what are some of the challenges that you have faced in being an assistant supervisor where you are supervising other people?
And say that's been a challenge. Like, I just did team 28. Like I said, I graduated with team 27 and we just did team 28 and we're about to do team 29. So I did one team as a production assistant. So when I went through the class with them, I told them like I was a participant literally 8 weeks ago. So I'm learning with you guys, but at the same time, it just like I had management skills before I came in here, but learning to deal with different types of emotions and being able to control mine while dealing with others was my main focus and hardest thing to do. But I've learned and had to have been coached with the counselor many, many times. And they've learned, practice the pause was my other thing. I've learned to practice. Don't ever just blurt out something. Think about what you say before you say it.
Absolutely. And you know what is resonating for me, Daniel, is the joy and the exuberance with which you're talking. When you're talking about some of the challenges, I can see it in your face. But overall, you have embraced this beautiful, joyful way of looking at the world. And this is working for you, right? More than what you're saying. How you're showing up is showing us that this is something that's working. If you had a piece of advice for women out there, there are so many responsibilities on women. Their children, the extended family. The last thing women have time for is themselves. And when we don't take time for ourselves, we crack, we break, right? That's human. What advice do you have for women? Because it doesn't matter what walk of life we are taking, this can happen to anybody.
It can happen to anyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care what amount of money you make, but it can happen to anyone. But you are enough, and don't be scared to be outside that comfort zone and go for what you want. You deserve it, and you are enough.
I love it. That's beautiful. Well, I was so excited to hear you say earlier before the show started that you are now in college. You started college last year in I think January of 2023. So tell us about that journey, getting into college and what you're going to be studying, and tell us about your experiences being a college student.
Like I said, when my sister got into that trouble, I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Like, and the first thing I thought of was money in school. Like, that's gonna help. The money will help. And that's all I was worried about at that point in time, honestly. But then I was like, hey, this is actually kind of cool. I like this. Like, I want to do this. Like, and at first I was non-practical. I'm like, I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm just doing it for the money, like I need the money to take care of my niece and nephew. No, like I've got so involved. Like, I failed one class and I was like, oh no, I can't do this. Like, this isn't possible. I retook it and passed it. And I'm like, I can do this. I just want to be an advocate for women like me that can't speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to help other women be able to get things they deserve in life, and going to school and studying, and like with my bachelor's in human services, it's actually, I'm also 4 years clean and sober from heroin. So that is a big, big deal. But that has kept me my time, you know what I'm saying? Because 4 years clean and sober, also like just keeping your time obligated is what is the major factor in keeping yourself clean. But like when the school, it actually helps with that. Like, it breaks down things that I didn't understand with my mental process and my addiction. It also helps me there too.
That is wonderfully encouraging to hear all of the past baggages so that you truly are able to succeed and pass this on, because I know you want to pass this on to other women. One of the things you touched on earlier is the note I want us to close this on. You talked about the importance of trust and trusting another woman and sharing things that you won't share. And so that's hoping and praying that another woman doesn't go and make it public.
Yes.
How was that experience? What did you learn about yourself? And by giving the trust to another woman who's a stranger, were they able to rise up and keep that trust? Because trust is earned.
And see, that was one of the main things in this program. When you come in here, you're like, man, I'm going to air my baggage out. And then everybody in the world's going to know like things that happened to me as a child. And I was really worried about that. When we come in the program, like we sit down and we talk and we pretty much say what is said in here stays in here, and what is done in here stays here as well. Like, this is a safe zone and we're going to keep it a safe zone. Now, I was scared to death that I'm going to tell this to somebody and they're not going to complete the program, and then they're going to go out and they're just going to keep it. And they did not. And like, just trusting another woman, and like that in itself made many things in my life change as well, because there was trust issues. And once I could trust another person, and I let go of the people that I couldn't trust anymore, and I have prospered many ways.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, it sounds like you're really putting yourself in a position to help other women, and one of our guests a long time ago, she used the phrase one hand forward and one hand back, where she was getting help and then she was giving help. So I love that phrase and that image, one hand forward, one hand back. And it sounds like you are very consciously putting yourself in a position where you reached out and you were given help and you seized it. And now you're trying to put yourself in a position where you can reach back and help someone else.
And give my hand to the next person.
Yeah, before we wrap this up, tell us just a little bit about your notions of reaching forward and reaching back.
Reaching forward and reaching back. We call this a sisterhood. Once we enter it, we don't exit it. Like, even though we graduate this program, we're still sisters. Like, we still communicate. We still have our function. We have our picnic. We still communicate and stay together. I can't remember exactly what you just asked me. But it's like a sisterhood, and once you're in it, you guys, we stay together, we work together. We never stop helping each other. We always reach out. I'm like, there's many sisters from my class that still call me and be like, hey, do you know this? And I'm like, yep. And there's people that are in this class now. We help them. Like, I just help like everybody I can, in the new classes and the old class. It's a sisterhood. We have a picnic. We come in like twice a year. It's amazing.
That is so beautiful to hear. And I don't want to gloss over the fact that it took a gentleman at the food bank to make this referral that then created an entire series of domino effect. So it's very important to have male allies, men who care, men who are actually willing to guide women to the source of support and strength instead of taking advantage of women in that position, right? Because all it takes is one person. That Michael was the name you mentioned, right? I remember. If Michael wasn't there, you wouldn't be here today. So the sense of gratitude for the people who show up to do what they do and truly make those impactful connections to make life possible. In closing, if you were to share a message for the Michaels of this world, what would that be?
Just keep reaching out for people like that, and keep helping women, and keep helping everyone. And
thank you.
I don't know what I would have done without my Michael.
So thank you so much, Daniel. We congratulate you. We're so proud of you. We are happy for you. We are part of your sisterhood now. So this is not, you do the interview and you move on. Stay in touch with us. Keep us posted. We are here to celebrate you, celebrate your continuing success, being there for you and your other sisters as well, right? Yes. So let's continue this journey of honoring each other and making life a joyful experience for every woman, because when we are joyful, everything else falls into place. And to the women out there, it doesn't matter what stage in life you're in. Here is the lesson I always embrace. Go out there and look at the moon. Every day it's in a different stage. It's still beautiful and it's still whole, even if all of it is not visible. So take your cue from the moon every night and tell yourself, it doesn't matter what's going on with me. I'm still whole. I'm going to grow and I'm going to shine, and just follow the moon.